Welcome back to LunaKage and Mr. Yusuk's unnamed wrestling podcast. If you somehow stuck with us through 2 hours of NXT Takeover Brooklyn and SummerSlam 2015, haha, there's still more for us to talk about, so buckle up.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was 2 more fucking hours.
It's probably 2 more fucking hours. It's like close to 1 o'clock, and I've got work the next morning. But
just like SummerSlam, fucking this week is 4 hours.
We're having our own SummerSlam worth of commentary right now.
Jesus balls! If only it was like with SummerSlam. If it was last year's SummerSlam, it would have made more sense.
You know what? But we're gonna have a finish to this instead of no fucking finishes. Something's buzzing electronically.
What the fuck is that?
I don't know. If it's picking it up on the mics, I can edit it out later. I don't care. Let's talk about Raw. Something.
I don't know, man.
I don't know. Anyways, so it's the Raw after SummerSlam, so obviously things happen during that Raw. Opening segment, we get Triple H and Seth. And we're like, hey, that statue that we mentioned, because remember, like, an episode or 2 ago, I was like, they're not going to have that statue actually happen. Hey, guess what? That statue actually happens.
Oh, fuck!
I know. So we're like, oh, man, we're going to see it. That's cool. So the actual opening segment is Brock and Paul come out, and Brock looks pissed, and Paul looks pissed. Commentary tries to sell the marks from Brock's wacky blade jobs. I love it.
Did they really?
Yeah,
I don't think I caught it.
I have it written down, so they must have done it. And I'm just giggling. I'm like, the best part of that match was the storyline of Brock's failed blade job.
It was like, man, I just love my own headcanon about it.
Yeah.
Like, fucking,
you're very good at reading into things.
I know, and it's fucking great. I am a storyteller at heart.
Yeah, Paul cuts a standard amazing promo. I like the fact that Paul's promos are amazing in their standard.
Yeah, like, you know, fucking he's always on.
Always amazing.
Always on.
Love it, love it, love it. Detailing, he explains to the audience that yes, Undertaker did indeed tap. And Brooklyn boos the timekeeper, and there's a cut to the timekeeper's face, and he's got that, like, that expression a dog has when he's outside pooping, and then he's looking at you like, don't look at me. I'm vulnerable right now.
The poor timekeeper, because it's not his fucking job.
And the thing is, the thing that Paul says, it's not the timekeeper's fault.
Yeah.
So don't boo him. So Paul Heyman's great.
If anything, the timekeeper was on the side of Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, and so Paul, and this needs a little explanation. Paul sells the Taker collapsing video as a work because after SummerSlam, there had been a video from someone in the audience where Taker's walking backstage after the match, and like once he gets kind of around that little door angle, he just collapses. And people are like, dude, please be a work. Like, Taker, please don't actually be like super injured from that. So Paul's out there selling it like, oh yeah, he's like, what? Brock took him to the absolute limits. He collapsed out there. Yeah, I saw that video. We've all seen the video. He barely even made it to the back of the room. Like, you know, he's out there selling it like it's a work. And like, I hope to God it is.
Masterful Paul Heyman work.
It's fucking great. I love it.
Some of the best guys in the business are fat.
Yep. Yeah, so please God.
Hire me, Vince.
Please God, let it be a work. Taker, please don't be injured. Paul's killing it. And then, tells Taker that Brock wants a rematch this very second, but instead we get Bo Dallas.
Yes.
Love it, love it, love it. Bo cuts his standard Bo promo. And
a Bomo, if you will.
A Bomo, yeah. Bo cuts a Bomo. Mr. Brock. Mr. Brock. Brock hits him with the stiffest clothesline. Yeah. It looked so stiff, which is great because it sells the fact that Brock is pissed out of his mind. It's like, and they might have talked about that backstage. Bo, I'm just going to hit you with like the stiffest clothesline because I need to go out there and sell the fact that I am irate.
Implying Brock Lesnar talks to anybody backstage.
Yeah, really. He's like, you're not my farmland.
He's like, if you get out there with me, I'm going to do things and you better be prepared to deal with them.
Yeah, really. Okay, so Brock then murders him with 4 suplexes and he walks out to his music. But Paul comes up and he's kind of like, smugly kind of next to him. He's like, you know, Brock. He doesn't actually say anything because the mics aren't on him. But he's kind of got like, he's kind of like playing with his fingers, and you can see him say 4. He pulls up 4 fingers.
Yeah.
How about 5? And so he's just healing it up, dude. He is healing it up.
It's honestly not even a heel at this point. Like that's kind of babyface things because like Paul Heyman is wanting Brock to do what the crowd wants him to do.
Mm-hmm. Like, but the way Paul's doing it is like very
super villainy.
Super villainy. Yeah, it's great. And so Brock walks back out there and, hits him with the fifth one. And then he walks out again to his music again. And Paul kind of comes back up and he's like, you know what? How about you hit him with the F5? It's just like the perfect, like, devil's advocate, like Hades from Hercules villain kind of suaveness to it. It's great. Crowd goes mental.
Yeah.
So Bo eats it. Bo goes out there and eats the F5. Segment ends. 10 out of 10. Love it. Great way to start. Next match is New Day versus the Lucha Flying Guys. And this is something I want to mention. Primetime players are on commentary.
Yep.
And then the Raw after that, primetime players are on commentary.
Yep.
And that's good, because that's where they should be. Because they're very good being on commentary.
Yep. They're very good with the mouthpieces.
So it's actually, I'm really happy that someone saw that they had a couple, because there's the standard, like, okay, we have the belt or whatever, we're involved in this feud. The other team that's involved in this feud is going to go wrestle some jobbers. We're going to be on commentary. That's a common setup. And when primetime players were doing it, they were really good on commentary, and so they did it again, and they were really good on commentary, and they lost the belts. And now they're out there doing it again on commentary, and they're still really good. So someone up there in the office was like, hey, we should kind of keep them on commentary for these matches.
One thing I do like about them being on commentary that I don't normally like about other wrestlers being on commentary is that normally if a wrestler's on commentary, that means we're going to get some kind of interference.
Yes.
And I dislike that.
Mm-hmm.
But, when you had these guys on commentary, as well as Dean Ambrose on commentary, I believe it was before SummerSlam, there was none of that.
And there was interference from, like, New Day came out. Because it was Lucha Dragons versus...
It wasn't interference from the guys on commentary.
Yeah.
Which is normally what it is.
Yeah.
You'll see the guy who the dude on commentary is feuding with.
And then he
hits his finisher. Drop. And then you'll hear, and then you'll be like, oh, where's he going? We know where he's going. We've seen this every day.
Yeah.
But not with primetime players. Mm-hmm. Instead, they're out there to be entertaining, and it's great.
Yeah, it's great. Speaking of out there and entertaining, so the New Day doubled down on the fact that they were singing at SummerSlam. They had a fantastic rendition of that Jay-Z song, which is apparently not on the network anymore, which sucks. So New Day come out, and Xavier Woods has a trombone, and they start singing Frank Sinatra's New York, New York, whatever crooner does that song. But they once again do it with New Day lyrics. And then Xavier's got the trombone. And so during the match, Xavier's on the outside playing Jazz for Your Soul on the trombone. It's just like, these guys are killing it. Yeah. Every day they're killing it. And so it's, a standard match. They win. And then all of a sudden the pyrotechnics go off and everyone looks up and it's the fucking Dudley Boys.
Yep. The second I fucking heard the song, because I know the song. Mm-hmm. So when I heard it, I was like, oh, balls. And the Dudleys came out. They're still the Dudleys, fucking time has not done anything to them.
No, they look like the Dudleys.
They look like they haven't aged a day.
So they come out, they clean house, they do their spots, and they hit the 3D on Xavier through a table, and you're like, it's amazing. So, like, the whole last half of my show notes are, like, in all caps. I'm like,
Now, were you watching back in their heyday?
No, but I was very aware of who they were. Like, that's not, like...
We're talking literally probably like they say, the most decorated tag team of all time. And that's true, even when you compare them to other career tag teams like the Road Warriors and shit, like, they're up there, like, I know they're not going to count TNA, but the Dudleys have won every fucking tag team title since, that was around since they fucking were fucking born, I guess.
Yeah.
We're talking both WWE tag team titles they've held. Mm-hmm. Both the SmackDown and Raw ones. Yeah. Then they held the WWF tag team titles before they were split. Now they're probably going to win it once they were fucking recombined again, soon at least. They won the WCW tag team titles. Granted, they weren't in WCW at the time, but I do believe it's notable because they were the WCW tag team championships. It was during the Invasion angle. Obviously, multi-time ECW tag team champions.
Yep.
TNA tag team champions. I don't remember if they were around back when there were still the NWA tag team belts in TNA. I think they might have been. I think they won those too. So we're talking like belts everywhere. I believe they were New Japan tag team champions at one point when they were with TNA. I believe so. They've won so many tag team titles. Fucking everywhere. Like, they're in the 20s of championship reigns.
It's one of the most iconic.
They've won so many titles that when compared to Edge and Christian, they say they've only won 9, only 7 times, only 9 times. No, like holy shit, they've won. They are literally the closest thing we have to a modern day Road Warriors, which is even better because they actually have the Dudleyville device, which is their version of the Road Warriors Doomsday device. Mm-hmm. So they even have a tribute to that. And they, you can't talk enough about how great these guys are. Both fucking chunky ass dudes, both intense, great on the mic, great in the ring, in spite of and in credit to their size. Just great. Great dudes. Great fucking talents, and they are legends that you could put up to, like, they're not just old men coming back, No,
like, that's the thing that I like about it. When they came back, I'm like, they don't feel old.
Yeah.
They don't feel old at all.
And the great thing is, too, I read on the sheets that they are back full time for a while. Like, I think they signed a multi-year deal, so nice. We are going to be seeing the Dudleys.
That's good. That's
they're not. They don't have a Brock Lesnar Sting schedule. They're fucking back for good for at least a year or two.
That's awesome. So, fast forward to the most recent Raw, we get somehow an even better New Day promo. Somehow every week. Every week you get a promo from the New Day, and you're like, wow, that's the best promo I've heard of the New Day. I don't know how the hell they're going to top that. And the week after it, they get an even better promo. So this week they're like, oh my god, the Dudleys, and they get smacked around a little bit, and that's great, because you're like, oh, the Dudleys. Yeah. And so now everyone knows that the Dudleys are there, and that they're going to come after New Day.
And good, because like, who could they, like, the New Day are the most over thing the tag team division has had since the fucking Dudley Boys. Like, when you're talking about overness in the WWE in the tag team division, sure, you've had great tag teams since then, like, but they were never as fucking huge as the Dudleys were. We're talking like fucking the New DX. I don't even think are as over as the New Day are right now. Like, they were more so main event guys, mm-hmm. and when they were in the tag team division, they were feuding with fucking the Legacy. Like, literally, there was nothing in the tag team division, so they were just there. It was nothing. Fucking, you've had Eminem, who were really good, still weren't that over, But the New Day are fucking killing it.
The New Day are the most over thing on the product.
It is such a great idea to have the Dudleys come back to feud with them.
I know, I'm so psyched.
Instead of like them come back and feud with the PTP.
Yeah, I'm so psyched for this feud. I'm chomping at the bit.
Like, it has been so long that the tag team matches have had main events, and I feel like that could be a thing now. I feel like fucking Night of Champions could easily be like a co-main event type deal. Well, not necessarily a co-main event, but one of the main events could easily be this tag team match.
Should be. I'd love it. I'm so excited for this match. So I want to briefly touch on the promo though.
Wait a minute. Hold on. When is TLC?
I don't know.
because you gotta believe, now that the Dudleys are here, we're gonna have another TLC match with them in it. And like, they weren't exactly the top stars of the TLC match, but they were definitely a really big third of the because like TLC, fucking you had Hardys and Christian and Dudleys. So, fuck.
You got 1/3 of it right there.
Yeah, like imagine Dudleys versus fucking the New Day, and then fucking like Lucha Dragons or something.
I'd love it. I'd love it.
Shit, crazy.
I'd go insane over it, man. So the New Day promo, they come out and they're like, the Dudleys are evil because they destroyed tables, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is such a silly promo. Where are they going with this? And they're like, but think about all those memories that you have at tables when you're with your grandmother and her cooking, and that uncle that's always kind of weird and he's always talking to his girlfriend. You were at the Thanksgiving table. And and when you're with your friends at college shooting pool, you're at the pool table. And all of us, every human, we are all part of the periodic table. And growing up that you had to learn your times tables. Then they're like, what's 1 times 3? 3? What's 2 times 2? They just do it. Oh my god. They're killing it. They're killing it. They're out there just murdering it. They're destroying it right now. They're just cutting the most insane promo. And so they go to look under the apron, and there's a table wrapped in bubble wrap. And they're like, this is the last table in the company. And
which is a lie.
Which is a massive lie. But it's a lie that's so stupid that I love it.
It's wrapped in bubble wrap.
It's wrapped in one layer of bubble wrap.
Or you could call it Bubba Wrap.
Bubba Wrap. God, I love it. And so they're like, it is our duty as the powers of please that booty. So our duty as the powers of positivity to protect the last table from the Dudley Boys. And I'm just screaming at the television in joy. The promo is just above and beyond anything. So I'm so psyched for Night of Champions. It's hysterical, man. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Quick spot where there's a promo piece for John Cena's 500th Make-A-Wish thing.
Yeah. Which, I mean...
I mentioned, honestly, I hate Cena only from being a snarky asshole. What? Table back away. Yeah, that's what's causing it.
Oh, I know what's going on.
Really only hate Cena from being my smarky asshole side, but what the guy does and who the guy is, he seems like one of the most stand-up human beings ever. So, massive props to him. He seems like an honest-to-goodness, actual, real good person.
Now, do you think that if he, does a Make-A-Wish for a blind kid, that's part of him is snickering inside?
He's just like, I can't do it. I can't. Not now, John. This isn't right.
Speaking of that, holy shit. Fucking the Jon Stewart segment.
We'll get to there. We're almost there. That's on the list, my friends. It's on the list. We will get there. So Roman and Dean versus Bray and Luke in a rematch from SummerSlam. Yeah. My initial thoughts. Fucking why? Because we didn't know. So my initial notes on this match are why would you have this rematch right after SummerSlam? Yada 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 yada. No one cares. And then they're still at Brooklyn, so Roman's getting booed like shit. Let me see if there's anything actually worth mentioning in this match. Don't care. Roman's about to do a spear when suddenly someone shows. Someone shows up who's not Eric Rowan. Who is he? Who is this brick shit house? He's massive. He's 6'8". He's 6'8". He's 6'9". He's 6 foot massive.
He's actually, I do believe he's 6'8".
Okay, he's
6'7", maybe.
He's.
I remember not them, but a podcast I listened to mentioned a number, and I was like, oh, that's around the same height as Barrett. So,
yeah, Barrett's 6'8".
Yeah, so he's he's big.
He's massive. He's built,
imposing.
He's built like a Mack truck.
And as we found out on the next episode of Raw, his voice is perfect for what he looks like. Holy balls.
He does have a bit of a baby face to him, which he's trying to hide very well with his beard.
I mean, like, if you think about it, fucking Bray's got a massive baby face.
Yeah, so he's a little goofy, but I feel like he could probably work that out, because he's trying to look menacing. He's not doing the best job.
His size more
his size. This dude is huge. He makes Luke Harper, who's a big man, look tiny.
Well, I wouldn't say tiny, but
noticeably smaller.
He is noticeably smaller than this dude. And the best part about it, I can't comment on his ring work, at least not as much yet. He had a match against Dean?
Yeah.
On the next episode, and he didn't do too bad as far as like what he had to do. But what he did in this segment was basically he Brock Lesnar'd these guys.
Yeah, he monster healed these guys.
And I am 100% behind that.
Yes,
because
I love it.
If you were going to give us a legitimate monster heel, he needs to be a fucking monster.
Yeah.
You know? And like literally taking 2/3 of one of the most dominant factions in modern WWE and picking them apart by yourself and looking amazing doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Like the 2 moves he did. Also, I gotta say, one of the moves, his submission, that he's gonna be is a submission move. God, what the fuck did they call that? I mean, I don't remember.
They just called it like an elevated sleeper hold.
Yeah. I'm talking about in TNA because one of the dudes in TNA, I can't even remember his name. He was like a psychopath, a stalker, and he used that move except not elevated. And I really liked the name, and I can't fucking remember what it's called at all.
Well, you'll have to get back to it because we're on schedule, man. It's 1 o'clock, and I got work in 8 hours.
But anyway, and his second move was definitely not something you've seen in WWE.
No, I have it written here. It's a one-armed fireman carry side slam.
It's like a powerbomb lift, like he's going to do some kind of derailer style backbreaker, but then he flips him over into a face buster, and that's basically, it's not as much of a slam as it is a drop, and since he's so fucking big, it works. And it's got its own little theatric to it of the way he does it. Like it's powerful because it looks like he's powerbombing. He looks strong doing that. But then like he fucking drops him into a face buster. So it looks kind of technical as well. And I dig that because you don't normally see stuff like that from big guys.
Yeah.
So I dug it. Like everything I saw from him, I liked. I also liked that instead of just putting him in a sheet mask,
in Rowan's sheet mask,
they put him in the black sheet mask. And in the follow-up promo, they called him Sister Abigail's Black Sheep.
Great. I love
it. I thought it was fucking great.
It's beautiful. I'm sorry, Rowan.
Rowan can come back.
Yeah.
Like, but the White Sheep, that's fine, but holy shit.
This guy is like, he comes in and he just power moves Roman and Dean, and Dean and Roman sell it like they are dying. Like they are just dying. They can't touch this guy. He looks like some DBZ villain coming in here and like, your moves don't even face me. Yeah. It's like he was in the ring for like 3 minutes or so?
Yeah.
In that 3-minute period, you knew everything you need to know about this guy. His name's Braun Strowman.
Braun Strowman.
Stoneman. I don't think there's an R.
It's Strowman.
Strowman? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's the R. Braun Strowman. In that 3 minutes, you knew this guy was 6 foot fuck you.
Yep.
Approximately fuck you muscle.
He was fuck 100 pounds.
Fuck 100 pounds. He comes in, he shrugs off Roman and Dean.
Like, and let's fucking, make it clear here. Dean Ambrose.
Yeah.
And motherfucking, rocket ship strapped to your back Reigns.
Yeah. They look like flies.
Yeah. They looked like they couldn't do anything. Dean hits him with like a kick or something in his head.
He no-sells it.
Shrugs it off.
No-sells it.
Don't give a fuck. Don't give a fuck about your fuck kick.
So
right?
at the end of the segment, you're like, this guy looks like a monster.
This is what the Wyatt family needed.
Exactly.
Because when the Wyatts came in, what were they? A group of monsters.
It was beautiful.
And since they've been doing nothing but jobbing out for the last fucking 2 years, they needed this, because now it's like, oh, their fucking power rankings are through the roof now. They got this guy. We haven't really seen him do much, but we know he's going to fuck shit up.
Yes,
and unless they fuck it up, they can keep this going. I want to see this guy undefeated for 2 years.
Exactly. Oh God, I want to see it.
I want to see him, like, maybe not right away, obviously, but I want to see him fucking beat the shit out of, like, everybody. You know?
Well, when you introduce him with a power level that high, you have to make sure he stays undefeated for a long time.
Like, I don't even feel like Rusev came in with this high of a power level.
No.
And we see what happened to him as soon as they fucking... God, he got perfect sold so hard.
He got hit with the case of the John Cena-itis.
Yeah, like he was beaten by Goku, and then he's fucking jobbing out to PyCon.
Yeah, it was bad. I feel bad for Rusev.
Yeah, but like Braun, his name's Braun.
Braun.
If only they changed his last name to Strongman.
Oh my gosh, Braun Strowman.
Yeah, Braun Strowman.
I feel like they did
he's Jewish, I guess. I don't know.
I feel like they did a good enough job getting into Braun Strowman as close as humanly possible without actually saying that.
He is so fucking big, though.
And
that's the thing. He doesn't need to be a technical marvel. He doesn't need to be a high flyer. Like, look at Luke Harper. If he is anywhere near that, and he only needs to be half as good as Luke Harper.
Yeah.
And he is perfect.
Exactly.
He's perfect for what he needs to be.
Alright, so after an amazing segment, we hit the death spiral part of Raw. We have a Miz TV segment with Team PCB, aka Team's Oops Names. They interview interview happens. The Miz is like stealing the show because he's actually like a great heel on the mic, which is like the thing he does.
Before we get into how bad this was, can I at least say that the fact that Divas got onto something like Miz TV was actually really cool.
Yes, that is true.
Like, I can agree that the whole Divas Revolution, not necessarily where it should be, but the fact that they had this and then followed up with like a 15-minute match, I thought was definitely good.
Yeah, that was a definite improvement. Sadly, this promo piece was garbage. Paige says that they're not into Mizzy and that he's a pervert, if I remember that correctly.
He probably is.
He probably is. But the way that this interview is scripted, it just kind of like goes all over the place, and you're like, what the fuck's going on here? They start selling the hell out of the Divas Revolution, and then Team Bella shows up. So there's some trash talking. Nikki no-sells the shit out of the SummerSlam win because she's 3 weeks away from beating AJ's reign. Miz insults PCB, and they look like they're about to start shit when Team Bella start the scuffle. My issue with this was that it was setting up like it was going to be Paige versus Miz, because Paige is like, we'll face anyone, male or female, doesn't matter who, we're here to kick ass. And then Miz is being a shithead to them. So like the natural way this was paying out is, well, Paige is talking shit like she's going to beat anyone. It doesn't matter if you're not deep or not, she's going to do that. And so I was expecting, and this is also with the idea that the Ryback feud's over, which it isn't. So then we get that, and I'm like, oh, because that would be great. That'd be a great thing for Divas Revolution for an intergender match between Paige and Miz.
Except it would never happen. Because this is PG WWE, no man-on-woman violence. But it's perfectly fine for a woman to slap a man.
Yep.
Because
it's comical.
Feminists, I guess.
Yeah, it's
women's
like,
equality, right? We can do stuff to you, we can do stuff to us.
Egalitarian, whatever it is.
Anyway,
I don't care.
But that would never happen.
Nope.
If it did happen, Miz would be having a female representing him, and then we'd basically have another fucking Ziggler and Lana situation.
Yeah. So then we get a match instead, which is Team PCB versus Team Bellas, and then Becky does 3 hip drops and disastrously botches the third one. I have that written down, but I don't remember it because I don't remember anything. I wrote down mentally checked out of this segment. Oh, okay. So that explains everything. Charlotte's hair extensions look goofy for some reason. I really wanted PCB to beat the living shit out of Miz. The crowd starts. Here we go. Here's what this is the actual part of the match. The crowd starts the Mexican wave and multiple chants. No one cares about this match because no one is told to care about this match because the interview segment was kind of dumb and boring, and we had the SummerSlam.
Here's the interesting thing about this match.
Mhm.
I can agree that it wasn't the best match, but I still don't think it was the worst match.
No, it wasn't the worst match.
It was a match that got time. It was a standard Raw fucking power trio tag team match, before the Shield. And it was fine. I mean, I guess you could say I am biased because, again, I don't look at Raw for great matches.
Yeah.
But I was just glad fucking they had the women out there doing stuff, getting time, and not fucking, getting pinned off of fucking suplexes.
Yeah, I get that too. But I think the culmination of all this Diva Revolution stuff that's not panning out, and the interview sequence that wasn't panning out, and then having a match like this that really wasn't bad, but didn't have anything panning out,
Right.
and then you just get people who are like, okay, so I'm mentally checked out, and so there's a lot of like butt mad on the internets, on the old internets about, there's people complaining like, you guys are being mean to the Divas and the Diva Revolution and whatever, like, why are you guys booing and cheering and signing the wave? I'm like, can you really blame them for this?
Not really.
No.
And the thing is, I see both sides of the argument because, really, they're getting time, but it is still kind of more of the same, just it's now taking longer. Right now, there was no story going on. It was just like, like we talked about before, it was a way for them to showcase these new people, these new divas,
Mm-hmm.
and, it was getting a little boring because all they were doing was tag team matches and then singles matches and stuff like that. Nothing was really getting accomplished to the point where it was like, well, what does this Divas Revolution really even mean?
Yeah, it's hitting, this match is where it started to hit the apathy part of.
I do feel like now it might get a little better.
Yes.
Because they had the beat the clock challenges.
Mm-hmm. That was nice.
Yep. They put Becky over by giving her a really quick time.
Mm-hmm.
Then they put Charlotte over by having her beat that time.
Yep.
Then Paige didn't.
Yep. Which is kind of what you want.
And, they kind of teased something that maybe Paige could do something along the line. She might get pissed, like maybe Charlotte will win the title and her next feud will be with Paige. Stuff like that. But that's what we want. We want it to go forward realistically in a division that only has one belt. Stables don't make any fucking sense.
Yeah.
So, getting rid of these stables as quickly as possible is your best bet. Maybe if you, I don't know, because, I fucking question it. I don't really trust WWE enough to do this yet, but the potential is there for a Divas tag division. I didn't really like it a whole lot when they did it in TNA, but I feel like it might be a little bit better if they get it right.
If they get it right, but do we trust them to get it right?
Yeah, and the thing is, they got so many divas that deserve to have gold.
Yeah.
But they've only got one title. And again, the stables don't make sense, but you have the Bella Twins, who are basically a career tag team at this point, because not even I Wish You Died in the Womb was enough to break them up.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, it would only make sense for them to have some kind of tag team belts. But again, introducing more gold is just kind of an iffy thing, especially if you're not going to treat the women with the kind of seriousness they need and give them the actual storylines they should have. And fucking, oh my god, the Bella Twins, holy shit. I don't know. I wouldn't hate it if they introduced it, but I could find myself hating it really quickly if they continued to fuck it up.
Yes. It's sticky territory, and we understood that the stables were a necessary part of just introducing the new talent, but we're hitting the absolute apathy zone. And the crowd is a hardcore crowd there, so yeah, they're gonna amuse themselves when presented with a serviceable but otherwise completely forgettable match. So, I mean, hey, that's just the way things go. Keep your crowd entertained. I don't know. Next, there's the Stardust and Barrett thing I mentioned in the last episode that happens. That was the 120 thing where King Barrett got buried. And now he's gone.
Buried.
King buried. Jon Stewart comes out.
Oh.
No, not yet. I was almost about to do that myself.
Jon Stewart.
Jon
my
Stewart.
Bad.
I
same
almost,
syllable. Same
almost
person.
is just it's instinct. That's just John explains his actions at SummerSlam. Hi, I'm such a gigantic mark. I couldn't let Cena tie Ric Flair's record.
Understandable.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand. And then, holy shit, Flair's theme hits, and Old Man Nature Boy drunkenly walks down the ramp.
Drunkenly, goddamn.
He's out there, and he's like, "Shut up, people! God is in the ring." Or something like that. I'm like, I love you. I love you. Ric Flair says he appreciates what Jon Stewart was trying to do, but actually was pulling for Cena to tie the record. Because Ric Flair was like, yo, if there was ever someone who would tie my record, Cena's a respectable guy. Which is, I understand.
I understand, but really,
yeah, I know.
I don't even think John Cena wants to tie the record, outside of kayfabe.
No, that's what a lot of this segment, a lot of this feud is like. Okay, we're writing things that we really just know that doesn't matter. So that's where my issue starts lying. So Flair starts talking to the crowd like madman. Flair tells Jon Stewart that he messed up everything, and then John Cena shows up, and Brooklyn goes apeshit, booing him, because it's just Brooklyn. Apeshit. Stewart sells the hell out of his regrets, and then Cena sells the shit out of how important the U.S. belt is by honestly putting it over the World Heavyweight belt, which was great.
I appreciated it.
I appreciated it too, man. I appreciated the hell out of it. They talk for a bit, and Cena AA's Jon Stewart, confirming that.
Hold on, before we get to that.
Okay.
Fucking the Jon Stewart comedy was amazing, in my opinion.
Yes, it was good.
Fucking when he goes over to Ric Flair when John Cena was pissed.
God, I love stuff.
He was like, you think if I did this, he really wouldn't see me, like,
He's like, can I see you? Great.
And then when fucking Cena's going off, like Stewart stops him. He's like, hold on, let me just say this. You seem upset.
Yeah, it was really a good segment from on
I want to see more Jon Stewart.
Yeah, he has a good because I think we talked about this in the stillbirth episode.
It just gets progressively more grim as we talk about it.
I think we talked about this. How we want Jon Stewart to be a interviewer.
Yes, a manager or an interviewer or something like that.
To replace any of the cardboard cutout humans that currently are just given mics and then don't do anything.
Because if you think about it, Paul Heyman's like pretty much the same fucking type of guy. Like Jon Stewart doesn't have to be physically anything.
No.
Like what happens when Paul Heyman will get vile into the biggest dude's face, but the second the fucking big dude starts saying enough of that, Paul Heyman cowers in the corner. He's like, no, I'm just an advocate.
I'm just an advocate, baby.
Like, Jon Stewart can be that. He could be that so easily.
Yeah, so I really hope that Stewart stays around. That'd be great. Anyways, they talk for a bit, and Cena AA's Stewart, confirming that John Cena is definitely the top babyface in the company.
But let me say, fucking Jon Stewart, he took an AA.
That's my next point. Chin Dog. I don't know if you know John Chinnery. Chin Dog.
No.
He's a OG from the area. Good friend of mine. He was saying that the AA bump for Stewart was actually really bad looking. That Cena dropped him on his head first.
I don't know if I saw that.
Okay, because that's what Chin Dog was like. Dude, you fucked up the AA on Jon Stewart.
The thing about the AA is that when John Cena hits it, the only time he never hits it beautifully, in my opinion, is when it's on somebody who's fucking huge.
Yeah.
Because, he doesn't get elevation off of it. But John Cena, when he hits any normal guy to any small dude, he fucking throws them up.
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking about, John Cena's 6 foot something, 6'1". He's not super tall, but he's still tall. And he throws this human being up into the air, and he comes crashing down on his back. Those rings, sure, they're padded, they have springs.
Yeah.
But Jon Stewart is 150-pound dude. He's aged like fine wine.
Yep.
And probably never done an athletic thing a day in his life. And he just took a full-on fucking high-angle fucking attitude adjustment.
Yep.
And I guarantee, because I bet, I know that fucking the officials didn't walk up to him and say, hey, you want to, we want you to take this finishing move. No.
No, God, no.
Jon Stewart was the one saying, I want him to AA.
I want to eat AA.
Yeah, you know that was Jon Stewart's decision, his idea. So fucking the biggest of props to Jon Stewart, man. Fucking, you know that a part of him was like, oh man, I get to take a wrestling move.
Yeah.
But another part of him was like, oh my God.
This is gonna hurt.
I'm an old guy, and I'm about to take a wrestling move.
Yeah.
You gotta fucking give it to him.
I love the shit out of that. Next segment is Dolph, Cesaro, Ryback, and Randy versus Rusev, Owens, Big Show, and Sheamus. It's Team Faces versus Team Heels in Tag Team Who Gives a Shit. I have show notes, but I don't care. Oh, actually, there's one thing I do want to mention. Rusev gets bonus points for not selling Cesaro's giant swing like an idiot. Because, when people get hit with the giant swing by Cesaro, they usually tuck their arms back against their head, and it looks shitty. And when, like, John Cena and Rusev take it, they leave their arms out, so that when they're being spun, it looks like they're being spun. And so I'm like, thank you for doing that.
I mean, I understand why they do it, because they're realistically, you don't know when he's going to let you go, so there's no real way to get ready for it. So when they're cupping their head like that, they're making it so that no matter when he drops them, they don't fucking hit their head.
Mm-hmm.
And like that's really important, because as much of like how low to the ground the giant swing is, hitting your head is not a good thing.
No.
So like guys like Cena and Rusev in this instance, maybe they had like fucking an idea in their head. Maybe they were told beforehand how many fucking rotations he was going to do. But either way, I'm also fine with it on a kayfabe point, because I feel like, this is me reading into it again. I'll call myself like a professor or something.
Do it.
Fucking, if you're taking a move like that, if you're already up in the air swinging around, then you're going to be getting swung around. Like, if you manage to break free at that point, you're going to drop anyway. So at that point, I feel like protecting yourself from the eventual fall, because you're already in that situation, he's already going to fucking do what he wants to do to you. You might as well just fucking take it and be good with it, instead of like making an effort to get out and squirm. And then,
my thing with the giant swing is when you have your arms out, kayfabe looks like you are helpless within it, which I think that makes it look so much better.
Yeah. I mean, like, it really just depends what kind of character you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Like, John Cena, realistically, he should be the one cupping his head because he's the veteran. So he should be taking those measures to protect himself.
Yeah.
In kayfabe.
But he was doing it during the U.S. Championship. He wanted to get Cesaro over his shit.
Yeah.
Good guy. Good guy.
Yeah. I mean, you could go either way with it. I don't really mind how the opposing person takes it. I'm just glad that they're letting Cesaro do it again.
Yeah. So the end of this match is Big Show messes up a KO punch. He means to punch Randy, and then Orton dodges, and Sheamus gets hit instead. Notice
this was a very interesting fucking part.
Yeah, this is so. Notice the monotone in my voice. Randy hits an RKO and finishes the match. Team heels all get mad at each other. Rusev and Owens beat up the Big Show, and they leave. And then Team Faces beat up the Big Show.
Yeah, like, holy shit. Like, I thought for a second that they were kind of taking pity on the Big Show.
Exactly, because that's what the Faces do.
And maybe it would have been kind of a gradual fucking, I don't know, another fucking face turn. Because, he needs at least one a year.
You know it. He hasn't hit his quota yet.
But no, they came in there and just fucking started beating on him for what?
And this is right after the segment where John Cena, babyface AA's the celebrity.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what's with the babyfaces today?
I did think it was a cool spot when like everybody lifted up. Fucking, you had Cesaro and who was the other guy that lifted him up? I can't remember.
I don't even know.
Cesaro, Dolph Ziggler was the other guy, and Randy Orton. So who's the other guy?
Dolph, Cesaro, Randy, and Ryback.
Okay, right, yeah, that makes sense. So Ryback and Cesaro, they both military press the Big Show. It takes both of them, but holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
then the intention was to drop him into an RKO, which they still did, but they let go at kind of a weird time. So, like, it looked a little sloppy, but the idea was cool.
Yeah, it's just the concept of the faces going in there and beating up the Big Show is, like, super what and super comical. Speaking of comical, there's a quick segment where Byron sends a pizza emoji to Domino's phone number to order a pizza for the commentary table. Because this is something I guess you can do now with Domino's. If you text the Domino's number a pizza emoji, they will deliver pizza to you.
Really?
I've seen it in commercials, I guess.
Okay.
And so, because Raw is all about making commercial money, Byron's like, yeah, guys, let me order a pizza. And so there's a camera behind him at the commentary desk. He's got a tablet. He's like, I just need to send an emoji to Domino's, and I got pizza for the commentary table. I'm laughing my ass off. Dude. Byron's like goofy, like butt monkey gimmick is like perfectly playing off here. And I'm like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, it is. Like, I don't know, man. If they continue to be fucking campy and cheesy with it, maybe he can get over as being a butt monkey.
Yeah, but I really would prefer him not to be.
I hesitate calling a black guy a monkey in any way.
Yeah, that's a little shameful. But the phrase butt monkey has been around for a while. So.
Yeah, we're not taking it back or anything. No. Fucking Clerks 2 reference.
Okay, so it's time for the final segment. Steph and H confront Cena about how he's totally not a fucking heel. Steph has security escort Cena out of the building to make sure that nothing happens during Seth's statue ceremony.
Can I just say before we get on with it that I loved the ending of this? Yeah,
I did like the ending of this. Although there was one stipulation to the ending, and I'll tell you when I get to my show notes. Steph does mention as the segment starts, and this is off script, you can tell, that today is Vince's 70th birthday, and so they try to get everyone to sing happy birthday, and it doesn't really work because there's like some like production things, like the commentary guys are off from the in-house guys, that's fine. But they get everyone to sing happy birthday to Vince. It's his 70th birthday.
Yeah.
Big ups to the big guy.
Yeah.
Hey, you made it to 70 in a job that I'm sure has caused you more heart damage over stress than anything else.
As well as the physical damage that came from fucking doing the things you shouldn't have done.
Yeah.
As well as like taking bumps, because he was a performer for a while.
He was, yep. So, we talk shit about Vince all the time, but none of us would be here talking about any of this if it wasn't for Vince. So, happy birthday, big guy. So they all sing happy birthday, and H straight up says he's so pissed right in the back. He's so pissed off in the back right now. It's not even funny. And it's hilarious that they're just like going off script and being like, haha, happy birthday, Dad. Seth comes in and cuts a promo, pumping up the statue. This lasts for like 15 minutes. It goes on for a long time, but he's honestly killing it. I like him a lot.
Yeah.
And so they unveil the statue, and it's actually Sting.
John Cena!
It's actually Sting.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and in my show notes, I go, ah ha 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 ha. Where were you last night, you dick? Because my original plan was for Sting to run in and cause interference with Brock Lesnar and Taker, so that would set up Sting and Taker for Mania, so that Sting would lose to Taker would win the Eternal Struggle 20 years later, and then Taker could retire.
Yeah.
But that didn't happen. So I'm like, oh, it's Sting. Where were you last night, you piece of shit?
Yeah. See, the thing is, if he were to challenge The Undertaker, and I'm talking kayfabe again, then he would get a match with Undertaker. But challenging Seth Rollins, he could be the champion.
Mm-hmm.
So fuck that. Yeah, go for the belt.
Yeah, that does make sense.
So
kayfabe wise, it's all good. So he cleans house, and he's got a serious case of Nick Cage hair, and he stinger splashes Rollins in the corner and knocks him out of the ring, hoisting up the World Heavyweight belt, and that's the end of Raw.
So what do you think at Sting maybe getting the belt?
I'm thinking really long and hard about it, but I don't think so.
I like the idea.
I like the idea a lot, though. I honestly like the idea a lot.
I think they might do it, because if you think about it, if Seth is going to lose that title eventually.
Yes.
If he's going to lose it, yeah, you can make the case Sting's an old man.
He's 56. It's not a case. He is an old man.
But Sting is still a legend.
Yes.
And the thing is, if he wins it, like, as we could tell on the next episode of Raw, they really went with the whole, like, you know, Sting says that Triple H is better than Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins isn't half the man Triple H is. Fucking, and Seth Rollins is like, Triple H was the man, but, you know.
Yeah, the segment after Raw, they're really, really pushing the face turn on Seth, and I'm like, thank you.
So, basically, I feel like they're already setting up the feud that he's going to have after he loses the title.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like Sting is going to beat him, whether it be from interference from Triple H or not. Seth is going to lose to Sting. I really feel like Sting is going to have his last run, and he's going to complete his collection by getting the WWE World Championship. I'm totally fine with that.
Yeah.
They're going to free up Seth. Maybe he'll have a face turn. But regardless, his next feud going to be with Triple H.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they're going to set it up in advance for like Mania, or if they're going to have it happen at Survivor Series, or maybe just even have it at the next pay-per-view. I don't know. But Seth's next feud is going to be with Triple H. And the thing is, if Seth is beaten by Sting clean, they can build up the fact that, you know, Sting said you weren't half the man Triple H was, and he was right, because look, you know, you lost to Sting, but I beat Sting. But then you could have, like, fucking Rollins point out, like, you needed fucking the help of fucking DX and a sledgehammer to beat Sting. You know, he beat me fair and square. You probably would lose to him fair and square, too. So, like, let's cut out the middleman. Let's you and me fight, you know? Let's see, you know.
I like it. I wish my idea was happening. Where Sting and Taker have their fight at Mania and Taker retires.
That might still happen. I mean, Mania is still a while away.
Yeah.
Mania is still next year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Royal Rumble is still next year.
Yeah, so it's nice. The thing I like about the promo the week after this one was that Sting sounds like Sting still.
Yeah.
And I like that a lot. He does not sound old, despite the fact that he is very, very old.
Yeah.
Anyways, so that's Raw. It started out amazing and kind of turned into a death spiral towards the end.
Yeah.
It started out as like best Raw of the year, and it just it petered out super fast after the first hour, which is a shame. So we have this week's NXT, which is of note, because if you remember during episode 3 or whatever, where we were doing the lead-in to NXT Takeover, I was mentioning that they were dark matches. And it turns out that this episode of NXT is actually just the dark matches, which is awesome, because I think everyone wanted to see those matches anyways. But this does come with the added bonus of commentary still being in the same clothes as they were during Takeover, and then having to play it off like it's Wednesday and not Saturday.
I mean, fuck the clothes. The thing that's the funniest about it is that these matches happened before Takeover, but they have to sell them like they happened after.
Exactly.
So, like, they're talking about Bayley winning the title. Like, what would have happened if something happened in that match to where Bayley wouldn't have been able to win the title?
Yeah.
Like, if that fall she took from the Hurricane Rana, that was a reversal fuck up, what if that would have broken her neck and she wouldn't have been able to continue?
Yeah, it was a tricky business.
Yeah, really, really weird.
So the first match off the card, which I'm very glad that we did get to see, was Enzo and Cass and the Hype Brothers versus Dawson and Wilder and Jordan Gable in 8-man tag action. Yeah. Enzo and Cass get unreal pops when they come out.
Yeah.
The crowd is lightning hot.
I actually saw the first 40 minutes or so of NXT, so I caught that and I thought that was great.
Yeah, no, they are so over. They're insanely over. A great sign in the crowd that says Full Sail University is soft. Love it.
Let me say too, like, fucking his catchphrases, like, it's so rare nowadays to have legitimate catchphrases, but they have it. They can,
man.
Fucking, you can't teach that. That's one of the greatest fucking things.
I love them. I love these guys so much. It's so great hearing the entire Barclays Center recite the Enzo and Cass opening.
Yeah.
They're over as shit. So it's a 8-man tag action, you know, standard fare kind of stuff. But there's a lot of really good spots in this. Notably one, some loser is on the outside. Some unfortunate losers on the outside. Enzo and Cass are inside the ring, Enzo hits the ropes and is gonna like go to launch over the ropes to tackle them on the outside, something like that. And as he's running by, Cass picks him up and tosses him over the ropes. Yeah. And it doesn't look like Cass kind of put his hand under his ass and Enzo jumped. Yeah. It looks like Cass picked that dude up and hurled him over the ropes.
Yeah, because that's what he did.
It was so good looking, man. I am a huge fanboy for Chad Gable. I think he's a fantastic mat worker. He's got really avant-garde like holds that are super entertaining. I like him a lot. I think he's going to go places. Jordan and Gable in general, I think, are just going to go places. The match is just packed with a lot of like really good minor interaction. Like everyone's doing their shit on point. They're all looking really good. Cass gets a hot tag, cleans house, and we get everyone do their signature move bit. Everyone's got to come in and do their signature move. It's great because they all have great signature moves. Cass, I think he does this on Gable. Cass hits a swinging side slam that gets 2 full rotations.
Yes.
It's the spot of the match. It was
really
awesome.
Good. Really good.
Cass hits Air Enzo, and the Enzo Cass Hype Bro team win. They're over shit.
Yeah.
They're so over. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. We get Eva Marie versus Carmella. Eva Marie is still getting some anti-heat, especially against Enzo's girl. There's some chance. Most notably, we want blue pants. Eva tries to mock Carmella.
Wouldn't it be so, like, apparently, from what I heard, Eva's going... I laugh just saying this. Eva is going to be the next contender to go against Bayley.
Why?
I don't know. But what I think should be a thing is Miss Red Everything should go against Miss Blue Pants.
Exactly.
Wouldn't it make so much more sense?
Exactly.
Like 2 fucking low card, nothings who are fucking, despite the fact that Eva's like doing nothing, she's got all this heat, and despite the fact that Blue Pants is doing nothing, she's got all this heat. It would be great. Like it would be a great low card nothing feud.
Yeah.
It would be great.
So Eva tries to mock Carmella doing the Enzo and Cass banter. It's mildly successful. She's trying to heal it up and take that heat for all it's worth. Eva hits her impressive-looking finisher, which I can't remember what it is because it's been too long, but commentary doesn't know what the name of it is.
The sliced bread?
Whatever it is, they didn't say it.
Brian, the one where she runs up the turnbuckle?
I can't remember, dude.
Like, the sliced bread number 2 was like Brian Kendrick's finisher?
Whatever her finisher was, I can't remember it, and I wrote down that commentary didn't name it, so I have no recollection.
It's like one of those kind of almost legendary things, because Brian Kendrick has been doing it for a long time, and Eva Marie started training with him, so he taught her how to do it.
Alright. So sounds good. It's almost 2 o'clock. I'm tired. Okay.
I'm going to be up for another 6 hours.
Yeah, I'm going to be at work in 6 hours. Tyler Breeze has a quick promo where he straight up no-sells the fact that he lost. He's like, yo, I still look good, and you wear a mask. Which is perfectly in tune with his gimmick, and totally makes sense why he's no-selling that loss, and I love it. Yeah. Great. He's killing his gimmick. I love him to death. Let's go. There's a quick backstage interview with Bayley from Takeover, where she has the belt and she sounds like she's actually crying and her family comes out and it's like, it's that like, we talked about it earlier, Bayley seems genuine. Yep. So it felt very genuine. It was nice.
I think it was genuine.
I really have no
reason to believe that it wasn't.
It was very genuine. We get Elias Sampson and the re-debut of Bull Dempsey. Sampson.
Shit, I didn't see that.
Okay, so Elias Sampson is a new character. He's a new wrestler. He is a kind of drifter, like boots, scarf, beard, and acoustic guitar.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
he's already cool.
Yeah, he's actually pretty cool looking. I like him. He's got a really good look. Bull comes out looking like he maybe lost some weight, but he still looks like a refrigerator. Okay. But I mean,
is he at least a little less jiggly?
Yeah, no, he honestly looks like he's in better shape.
So he actually doesn't look like he's just me in tights?
No, he does not look like you in tights.
Okay, good.
So the commentary is selling Bullfit really hard, and he's selling Bullfit really hard, and it's actually kind of good because the crowd's like, "Hey, Bullfit, Bull's back. That's nice." Bull never really in control of the match, but then Bull straight up hulks up. He does the actual Hulk up thing, and gets his head literally in the game with a headbutt. But it's comical because he does like the like pose for pose, like hulking up. Elias looks good in the ring, selling both attacks very well. Bull hits the top rope butt splash and wins. Yeah, not
butt splash?
Butt splash, I believe it was.
Seriously?
Yeah. He does like the earthquake sit down whoopsie from the top rope.
Oh god.
I know.
I hate those moves.
I hate those moves too. Because there's
ass-based offense is so lame. Why won't they fucking know this? Oh, he's a big guy. Let's give him a butt move.
Alright, so the match, the final match, which is the one that has the most talking points about it, for good and bad, let me tell you, is Emma and Dana Brooke, Becky and Charlotte in a fatal 4-way. I know I said Emma and Dana and Becky and Charlotte, but it's actually a fatal 4-way, not tag. But you can smell the funny business coming a mile away because it's two teams of people who like each other. So, what's it? Where am I at here?
Yeah.
The fatal 4-way starts off with two sets of friends. Rich says it sounds like an Iron Maiden concert with everyone singing when Becky's entrance plays. And Corey Graves, who's not a fucking idiot, he immediately tells him to get fucked by saying, well, Rich, if you ever listened to Iron Maiden, you would know they sound nothing like Becky's entrance. But other than that, you're right. Yeah. It's just like, Corey Graves is like, that's what the heel announcer is supposed to do. When like one of the other announcers says something stupid, the heel announcer is like, hey, idiot. Don't be stupid. Yeah. So I really, really like Corey Graves on commentary.
He's good. He's a good commentary guy.
There's wrestling. Oh, there's another great spot where Corey Graves tells Rich to get fucked. It's amazing. Rich was really not on his A game today during the entirety of Saturday. Yeah. Dana Brooke has these silver ponytails with pink trim to them. They look really gaudy. They look really, really gaudy.
From what I saw of Dana Brooke, everything about her looks really awful. Honestly, is she even any good in the ring? Because I haven't
not
seen
really.
Because like,
I think they put promo work into her. Then she debuted, and her first two matches were garbage, and they immediately strapped her on with Emma.
Yeah, she doesn't like.
She's not really killing it.
She looks awful. Like she looks like she's got Botox going on a little bit. I don't know, like everything about her.
She's not doing all that hot right now. But it's also developmental. So I'm like, whatever.
I don't know. I even hesitate because like everything about her just screams off.
Okay. So anyways, Dana Brooks got the new hairstyle, the ponytails I mentioned. Corey asked Rich's opinion on Dana Brooks' new hairstyle.
Oh god.
Rich literally does not answer, and Corey says, "That's fine. I didn't want an answer anyways." Fuck you, Rich. Dude, Corey's just killing it. Rich is dropping the ball. Corey's picking it up and shooting for threes.
I know what Rich was thinking too. He was like, fuck, how should I respond? She's a heel, so I'm not supposed to like her.
Yeah.
But if I say that, I'm just a dick.
And then Corey's just heels right over him. I'm like, thank you. Emma and Dana have
when
multiple.
Chivalry goes too far. That's basically.
Emma and Dana have multiple dissension in the rank spots.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, that was my pin. You know how it goes. I ain't gotta explain shit to you.
Yeah.
They look like they make up, and then Dana attacks Emma, thus somehow getting more heat. Charlotte capitalizes, it gets double DDT. Becky drop kicks Charlotte from the top rope on accident. Becky clears out of the ring, but gets pinned by Emma in a botch. So what happens is Charlotte's in one corner of the turnbuckle and Becky's in the other, and Emma's in the ring. Emma hits Charlotte with a crossbody, and then she runs to the other side and hits Becky with a crossbody, and she goes to pin Becky. Becky then eats the 3, and it wasn't supposed to happen that way. Because you can tell. So when the count's going on, and it hits, right before it hits 3, Emma peels away, as if to sell a kick out. But either Becky's dazed, or Becky forgot, or someone was supposed to break it up, and Becky didn't kick out regardless. No matter what happens, it sadly kind of falls on Becky fucking it up.
It wasn't, like, I actually read that it was supposed to be broken up.
Yeah.
And, Becky, I assume, just had her eyes closed.
Yeah. The thing is,
supposed to be selling.
If she's selling and she's, like, not aware that someone's not going to break it up,
yeah.
she can't really. She's
Yep.
supposed to maybe still pick out knowing that, but it's impossible for her to know.
It's no fault of hers.
Yeah.
It's definitely not.
If it's someone supposed to break it up, I assume it's probably Dana, considering that she was like.
It probably was supposed to be Charlotte, because I assume Charlotte was supposed to win that.
Well, Charlotte was supposed to win that, but my thing is, why would Charlotte break it up when she had just taken a crossbody herself?
I mean, it's not a finishing move.
Yeah,
you know,
but she was out there selling it, so I would assume that the dissension in the ranks would continue between Dana and Emma. But I mean, this is all hearsay. Who knows? All we know is that it was a botch ending, and so the ref counts it like a shoot because that's his job. Yeah. Good on him. Signals to the timekeeper. Timekeeper hits the bell, and then Emma starts selling the fact that she won. But then Charlotte spears Emma and pins her while the crowd chants 1, 2, 3, and her music plays. And then
did that really happen?
Yes.
She pinned her and everything?
Yeah.
Awesome.
So, and then Dana attacks Charlotte after that, and Becky interferes, and then they both do their submission moves before Charlotte's music plays a second time.
Of course Charlotte's plays again.
Yeah, because she was supposed to win. And also she's a face. Yep. So let's beat him up. So yeah, really, really botched up.
I mean, to be fair, like, you could say that it's a heel thing to beat up the winner when you weren't the winner, but, you know, it's also a face thing to beat the fuck out of people who are assholes.
Yeah.
So, you know.
But the whole last part of that match was like realizing you're on a roller coaster ride and it tracks out. You're like, oh boy, here comes this.
Shit. I love that she pinned her.
Yeah, she pinned and the crowd chanted 1, 2, 3. They knew what was going on. The crowd like immediately chanted 1, 2, 3. So props to them. And that was Takeover, which was actually pretty good, but a little on the sloppy side.
I mean
NXT. Fuck, it's 2:00, dude. But actually, that wraps it up for us, so I get to go to bed.
Yay, we actually fucking got 2 episodes down.
We did, so that's parts 1 and 2 of both NXT Takeover Brooklyn, SummerSlam 2015, and the episodes of the weekly shows after it.
Yep, and we covered pretty much the most important talking points of the next Raw.
Yeah, so we'll see you guys for the Night of Champions and Raw Aftermath.
Really? That's when we're doing our next thing?
Yeah, because it should be, 2 weeks' time.
Huh, okay.
It should be 2 weeks, and then Night of Champions will happen. What will happen after that? We'll have a show. We'll do a show right after that. Yeah. Everything should be according to schedule.
Works for me.
Works for me, too. All right, I need to go the hell to bed. This is Mr. Usek signing off. Follow me on Twitter at MRUSUK.
And this is LunaKage. You can follow me at the only LunaKage, one word, on Twitter.
On the Twitters. I'm going to bed. I need to go to bed. Wrestling is keeping me up too late. This is hurting my work productivity. My feet hurt. I want to go home. 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 I want to